Thank you so much for coming today. This is one of the tale sessions we wanted to do for so many years, to know the history of Chittagong. This is our 5th year here, some of ours, and for Professor Kamarmanu it's like 150. But at the same time, there are so many interesting facts about this city. It's not just 150 years old, it's more than that when it comes to recognizing it as a port and different civilizations coming and going. And so it's our pleasure and honor to have today with us Dr. Shamsul Hussain, who is a historian and an antiquarian, if I pronounced it right. And it's on to him to explain what does it mean and what is his tale about Chittagong. Dr. Hussain.
I'm here for the second time to meet the students and teachers actually. I'm also very much delighted to be here today. Meet again the students of this university. Yes. And I think that I am learning the history of Chittagong. I am a learner, like you, that I have no reference actually of fixing its birthday. But I have come across some antiquities, some cultural properties that these are just exciting me to fix a date tentatively, and it's a bit long one. One can claim that Chittagong is one of the ancient ports of the world. It's in the Britannica, and it has survived many phases of history, and it's very interesting to note that, like its natural settings, that we were knowing it's a city of many natural properties. It's situated on the ocean. It has a nice river on which international port is situated. It has hills, lakes, forests, and many other things. So, actually, telling a tale is not, I'm not habituated with it. So if I am not telling a story, history is also a story, actually. And one can make a story from his imagination, but we tell story basing on some evidences, which I am calling antiquities. And this is Chittagong.
Can we come a bit forward, because we have an extension cord here which cannot go further, so the podium cannot come further. Can we come a bit forward? That would be good. Thank you.
This is a picture I've taken from the shore. It's a long beach from Mirsrai to Teknaf. The whole district is a narrow strip, and there is these formations are made by the wave. On the shore, these designs you will find made by the rat crabs, a kind of crabs. It just come out from the sand, and if you approach them, it will just flee within a moment. And many tourists and travelers came to Chittagong. We know from second half of the 7th century, a Chinese monk came, on whose account we first know the name of Horikelo. Horikelo is the earliest name of Chittagong. And he described that Horikelo was the eastern limit of eastern India. And after some 100 years, came one Arab geographer. His name was Al-Idrish in the 12th century. And he saw a large town. He called it Samandar. But Samandar is not a local word. It's a Persian word, Persian Arabic word. Sam is fire in Arabic. And Andar is in Persian, it is within. Samandar, you will find fire within. If you go to Chittagong, it's a very near place on the peak of Chittagong there is a temple, famous temple, and you will find a burning flame in water, like fire is coming from the water there. You will find, and this type of name associated with the place name Chittagong, you will find it many times. Ibn Battuta, some of few might know his name. He was a great Moorish traveler of 14th century. He came to Chittagong and he described the first town of Bengal which he entered was Chittagong. It was a great city situated on the shore of a vast ocean. This is the ocean. You will find it on the tip of Patenga Sea Beach. This is from Patenga Sea Beach. This ocean is there. And the Arab geographers gave a name of their own to this Bay of Bengal, Bahar-e-Harkand. And you may understand that Harkand is the Arabization of Horikelo. That Horikelo is known to the outside world. We can just imagine that. In 17th century, Chittagong was under the Arakanese, and at that time, one Bangla Puthi literature is available. Its name is Laili Majnu, and its writer was Baharam Khan. And I have translated the portion from English to Bengali, from Bangla to English, that this is city of Fatehabad. Fatehabad was a place name for Chittagong for a certain period. There is a place just on the outskirts of the city today is named Fatehabad, but city of Chittagong was also known as Fatehabad at that time. The very site gratifies her fame as Chittagong. But the name Chittagong was there, but it was an additional name. Fatehabad is Fateh is the winning a war. After winning a war, it was settled. Like the eternal city, comely and beautiful, the abode of innumerable saints, near the sea and on the bank of Cornful, a holy place, utterly divine. On the high mountain around, a fort is situated, wherein lies Shah Badr Alam. Shah Badr Alam is the guardian saint of the city. his shrine is now there, is the oldest building of the city. Then came a very famous man, Sir William Jones. Some of you might know his name. But he has spread the modern learning in Asia by founding a society in Calcutta. It is named as Asiatic Society of Bengal. It is now a very great center of learning. It is still working in Calcutta. I told you this, the natural setting is a very important element that attracted many foreign scholars, travelers and visitors. And Sir William Jones had built one house in this city. He used to live here for some time. And we last got one book by Captain Pogson. He was a military personnel. He came to Chittagong in 1830 and wrote a book published from Sirampur Press. It is the earliest publication house of Bengal in modern sense of the term. And his book is titled as Captain Pogson's Narrative During a Tour to Chittagong. And we find a very beautiful description of this city. Chittagong is a romantic and beautiful place. The houses are on separate contiguous hills, about 100 feet above the level of the sea. The glens and valleys are beautifully crowded with betel, mango and nagakshop trees. The air was cold, pure and dry, sensibly different to the atmosphere of the water. Then we have another civilian, John Beams, in which description the scenery of this place is perfectly lovely. Roads running in deep gorges between wooded hills, no end to the pumps, and little sparkling waterfalls. The name Chittagong is very interesting because Chatti is a local noun for earthen lamp. I told you the fire is associated with many namings of Chittagong. Samandar, we got it earlier. And the Chittagong, we in archaeological evidences, we got the name Chittagong, not Chittagong or Chittagong. Sir Jones told that Chittagong is a vulgar application of the name. Even as a very renowned scholar, there is a vulgar use. But he himself used Chittagong. Chatti is like this. These are earthen lamps discovered in Mayanamati. This is the type. This is two parts. The upper portion is the lamp one, and this lower portion is a stand. It is made of terracotta. And the sources of our tale is the heritage of Chittagong is enriched by the contribution of diversified elements of population through their settlement in this district in historical perspectives. The diversity is represented in the form of material and non-material cultural properties. The hills of the region also proudly possess a dimly exposed prehistory. Chittagong being a frontier zone in respect to the South Asian subcontinent and as a major maritime port of the region, was always an abode of mingling cultures. This is the artist's conception of prehistory in Chittagong location, a prehistoric manner. The major traits of material cultural properties of Chittagong are exposed in architectures, sculptures, coins, and other metal products from the 7th century onward. The folk art, dresses, foods, and putti literature may also be grouped with this category. The dialect, folklore, rituals, and ceremonies of Chittagong are its precious non-material properties. This is Horikal. It has spread from the bank of Karnataka up to modern Sylhet. It was actually Sri Hot Top. And down there, a part of Bakharganj, Noakhali and Tripura, the whole region, the Horikalo spread, and it was a very resourceful country. It had its own coinage system, and it was so detailed that it tells a very prosperous economy of the region. Horikalo was famous for its maritime port and the Buddhist university called Pandit Bihar, where Chodjakar sages. Chodja is the earliest evidence of Bangla literature. And one Chodjakar was there in Pandit Bihar, Tilo Jogi, two actually, Tilo Jogi and Bono Rattam used to teach. This university was a religious institution, a Buddhist university. The geopolitical situation, along with activities in trade and commerce meted out through the seaport of Horikal, caused the Arab geographers to choose an appropriate nomenclature, Bahari Harkan, Sea of Horikal, for the adjoining Bay of Bengal. The royal houses with their end titles Akoro and Devo ruled in Horikal. Place named Devagramo, Devgaon, presently Dian, and Bardhamanpur, presently Baroda, bears memory of its pre-medieval past at the mouth of Kondafuli on his left. The first port site on the bank of Kondafuli was on his left bank. It is now known as Dian. Dian is the corruption of Devogram. Devo is gods and Gram is village, village of the gods. Devo is also a title of ruling house of Horikal period. I talked about the coins. This is the Horikal coins. Horikal is written here in Devanagari. 36 thin silver coins with embossed bull and tripartite symbols. Bull, tripartite symbol. Were found in 1980 inside a terracotta pot of unique shape at village Jobra near the University of Chittagong. Horikalo legend is found written in Brahmi on 35 coins of the whole. These types of coins were also found in Sylhet, Kumilla and Noakhali. This is a very unique kind of archaeological object. It's a vase, inscribed vase. It is now deposited in the Bangladesh National Museum. This is a vase, there is a grant written on the body of this vase. It is issued by Dabati Devo Bhatta, issued in the regnal year 77, that is 715 CE. It was acquired from a shop at Dhamrai and now deposited in the National Museum or National Museum. And we have also flat type of copper plate grand found in Chittagong. And on the just near Dabogramo or Diam, there is a place named Giuri. In Giuri, a very big archaeological deposit was discovered in 1927 during the British period. And these objects were some metal images. It is one of the Giuri finds. This is 3 figures of Buddha. And the central figure is sitting in Dhyana Mudra, while the other 2 are showing preaching posture. It is a unique piece of art embellished with a single stela and a 3-rotho pedestal. It's a Buddhist image, and there are many actually. It was a hoard, big hoard, and 2 books have been published, one from Calcutta and one from Delhi on this hoard. After Horikala, then we are moving to the Sultanate town. Fakhruddin Mubarak Shah was ruling in Sonargaon, it is near Dhaka. Bengal was not united at that time. Fakhruddin was the ruler of a part of Bengal. And he conquered the seaport of Horikala in 1340. The famous traveler Ibn Battuta, we have seen his quotation earlier, visited Chittagong on the shore at a contemporary time in 1346, that is after the 6 years of the conquest of Sultan Fakhruddin. Battuta came to Chittagong. The seaport had easy channels of river communication throughout its hinterland. Fakhruddin built a road connecting Chapur with Chittagong. Chapur is a river port in Kumizan. You will find in this map the situation of Chittagong and its hinterland. One can, after reaching the maritime port of Chittagong, can go to Panduai there through river system. There are many rivers in Bengal, but these are communication network. From Chittagong, it was easy to reach anywhere, even at that time in a remote village with river and craft. So, for that reason, is the geopolitical situation of Chittagong is important. If you reach here, you can approach anywhere within eastern India, actually, Assam, even Bihar, up to Bihar. Sultanate Chittagong, there are many mosques and tombs were also constructed in a substantially new occupation. We got it from early historians. It's recorded there. The political relation between Bangala and Chittagong continued during the rule of the Ilyasai Sultans. During the Sultanate period, there are many houses of ruling family. Ilyasai, Radha Ganher, later Ilyasai, and the Hoshasai regime. Many sultans issued coins from the Chittagong mint. During the Sultanate period, there were 24 mints in Bengal, and Chittagong was a very rich mint because from Chittagong you have seen the coins were minting from Horikaluti in 7th century. So there were many types of coins after Horikaluti. And during the Sultanate period, it continued as a mint. Even in the Mughal period, the Mughals had conquered Chittagong at the fag end of the